Today's your day to lock in and ignore my bet. This is what not to do. Should I even be making this video? Let's get started. So I doubled my income because I locked in less than 90 days. And a good example of locking in is giving yourself a goal. For example, I want to lose 10 pounds in 6 months and I want to gain some muscle. What not to say is, oh, I want to lose weight. Okay. You want to lose weight? Okay. When, like, if I say I want to lose weight, I can lose weight in 10 years. Okay. I lost weight. It took me 10 years. No, you have to be like deliberate about what you want to achieve, such as losing weight, such as making money. Like, right, I said I want to double my income and I did, right? And I had a time frame and then I did it in that time frame. I already had it set about getting this new job, increasing my income and, just doing things that elevates me financially, right? Because there's so many things that you can do. There's so many things that really put you back, such as bad habits, such as excessively drinking, excessively smoking, anything that just takes you away from your goal, right? And people are like, oh, but I'm just enjoying my life. Life is short. I don't know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow. Okay, life is short. So since life is short, do whatever you need to do to have a comfortable life, to set your family up, to try to retire your parents, which is a goal of mine. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it. And to have your wife, whoever is with you, just be able to take care of the people who took care of you. Because, right, when you're gone from this earth, at least you can be like, okay, I made sure everyone around me was good, right? And it just makes life easier, right? Is it easier living on 50K a year or $150,000 a year? You're like, obviously 150,000 a year, but some people argue, oh, but 50K or 60K, but it's doable. Yes, it is. Like, yes, there's income people can live. If you live behind under your means, you can do that. I'm not saying that, but making more money makes life easier, right? And there's a certain amount of income that once you reach to that point, it doesn't really make a difference, right? Let's say you make $3 million a year. Let's say you make, right? And then another person makes $7 million a year. There's not really going to be too much of a difference in terms of, like, is the lifestyle comfortable? Because whether you're making 3 million, 5 million, 500,000, your life can be comfortable as long as you're not an overspender. You're not going out like throwing racks, like just spending like $10,000 in a day. Like, come on now, right? If you're just maybe eating out or traveling and enjoying your life, and you do it with, you don't just do it excessively, you just do it, maybe you do it a few times a year and you have the funds and you can comfortably do it, then that's okay. It's like, for example, when you go to a grocery store, right, and you budget, my budget is like $100, for example, right? When you don't make that much, $100, you have to make sure you meet $100 or under $100. However, when you have a lot of money, you can have a budget of $200, and if you went to 400, 500, you'll still be good. You want, like, if you had to go over your budget, you always want a budget. I don't care how much money you have the budget, and if you go over, you're still completely fine. And that's perfectly fine being comfortable. I hope that makes sense. But what I want to say is, you just want to lock in. Lock in. So put yourself like maybe 90 days. Like, okay, 90 days, locking in should be like a everyday, not everyday thing. You always need your rest. I don't like the people that be like, oh, you need to work 100 hours a week, 100 hours a week. So you can, no. You need balance. You're human. You're not a robot. Yes, there may be weeks where you're working hours and hours, maybe over 40 hours, and understandable. And if you really, really need to, however, if you're able to balance your life and find a job that pays well, because you want a job or you want something that has good job security and makes money, right? It's actually better to have a job that has higher job security and less salary, right? Because sometimes the problem with people with jobs is not it's not actually like it's keeping the job. That's the hardest, because you can do everything right, you can be the best, you can be number one in, let's say, selling the most packages or the most nice person there. However, once they, let's say they're losing money, the business is losing money, they might cut you out of, oh, I'm sorry, we got to cut off. Or maybe the business closed itself. So when you have like a position or a job, like for example, doctor or nurses or like dentists, people in the medical field, they have very good job security, because let's say I'm in this hospital, I'm working, and let's say it closes down, right? It closes down. I can find one the next day. Easy. They need plenty of nurses. They need lots of doctors. So, which is why job security is more important. And locking in is also having control of your emotions, right? This is a big thing, right? I was in this job that was underpaying me, and I was working, I was putting the work. They're like, you're a good worker, you're a good worker, you're good. But I was barely making nothing. Like, I don't even want to say how much I was making, because it's like laughable income. You make, you make that much. Yes, I made that much. That's like, it's like baby money. It's high school money, or middle school don't work. It's high school money. Like, that's baby money. So I realized, if, for example, I was in this job, right, and I had the choice of leaving it, right, but I didn't want to leave it. I didn't, because I had an emotional connection to the workers, to the people. I felt like this cool guy. I was in the gym. I'm like, what's up? Everybody knew me. And actually, before I continue, the cool part is the people that I knew in that gym. I switched gyms, right? And there's still some people from that gym that went to the gym that I am. Not because of me or because they knew I went to that gym, but it's because it was a famous gym. It was a popular gym, so people went to that gym. So I'm like, wow, me knowing people from my job still allowed me to know people in the current gym, even though I told myself, okay, I'm not gonna interact with nobody, I'm not gonna talk to nobody. But I'm like, if I know you already, obviously I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna say what's up. I'm not gonna be like, oh, oh no, let me put my head down. No, I'm gonna speak to you and be like, what's up, bro? How you been? How you this? And I know some people that were there, they saw me and they didn't want to say hi because maybe we didn't talk. I think there was like these two people that were in the gym, and I never spoke to them. I think one of them I tried to sell like personal training, and then the other one, I just saw her. I actually tried to sell her some personal training. She was like, no, whatever. I left her alone. I never spoke to her again after, because there was no point. She didn't seem too nice. Maybe I'm wrong. I never really spoke to her, but okay, let's go back. Let's go back. So basically, I locked in. I had to quit the job. I quit the job, and me quitting the job allowed me to go to a job, like I said, that made me twice as much I was working as I was making. And due to my emotional connection, me not wanting to leave, and me not thinking logically, because if I was to log in that case logically, it doesn't make sense. The hours are bad and the stability is bad. They can fire me in an instant. They can fire me, right? They can be like, you're gone, and I'm not even making much, and there. But the job that I am now that I'm making much more, and now I look at jobs as, obviously at work, I do my best, whatever. But I look at it as like, if there's a better position and it's something that I like and it makes more money, I'm going for it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, but I really love my job. I don't want to leave them. But they'll fire me in an instant, right? That's how it is. It's a job. They use you, and you get benefits from them, and the benefits is the pay. You're working that job not because of charity, not because of community service, because you need the money to support your family, which is correct. So lock in for these 90 days, and this 90 days will turn into 180, and possibly 365 days, and maybe not 365 exactly, because you need your breaks. Breaks are very important. I don't care who tells you, oh no, 7 days a week, go hard 7 days a week. No, I make sure I go hard 6 days a week, maybe even 5. Like this week, today was kind of my rest day and break. So you got this. I believe in you. Let's go.